where do I start? How do I tell my story? I'm not a good storyteller. I don't like to write. So we wanted to spend a little bit of time brainstorming different ways you can tell the story. Because sometimes some people are more operational. They need to know, how am I going to do this before they can actually get started? Because it's overwhelming. You hear your clients talk about downsizing. Many of them just can't fathom where to start. So that's what this part is about a little bit. When we first entered the room, we were talking about scrapbooking. That would be a great way to document the stories. Right? That's one example. When you think about your objects, what are some other ways you could think about passing on your story so it doesn't evaporate? How could you describe your object? Creative?
Well, I have things like my mother's brat, when they used to do baby shoes?
Yeah.
So I have both my mom and my dad's baby shoes sitting on my credenza in my office. And I've written a little thing about them in the year and where they came from, and stuck them in the toe of the baby shoe.
And that's a great example too of a small step. It doesn't have to be that you're writing a book or a chapter of a book or anything big. It's just, what is it and why is it important? My grandmother used to write, just on a same idea, slip of paper. She'd write who the piece of furniture was. I don't know why it was the furniture, but where the table had come from, because some of it was several generations back. Whose house was it in? Was it used at Christmas? Just 3 or 4 sentences that she taped to the bottom of each piece of furniture, which I think is great. So writing. Just a few other examples. A lot of people are more verbal. They just don't like to write, or they're dyslexic, or just have not had good writing experience, and they're better telling their stories. So at least to get out a tape recorder, at least, and then back up the files a few times. Creativity we talked about. There are memory quilts that can help tell a story. So we had an example of the smallest step. Another way to get started is just to try 15 minutes a day. For some other people, if you're trying to record or create or write, it's about creating a space in the environment, because that's how they can get ready for it mentally. So it might be at a desk, or it might be walking outside with the tape recorder to tell the memories. It may be setting up an appointment with a grandchild to tell the stories, or even using one of these interview books that you can find in most of the bookstores, brick and mortar and online.